Hola amigos, this is level 12 and today we are going to be talking about the top 10 relatable anime characters. Now, these characters are going to be relatable for a multitude of different reasons, and also this list is based off of my own opinion on what feels relatable, so you may relate to certain characters more so than others. Anyways, so the first one we have for 10, so we have Yougo from Heaven's Memo Pad, the girl, and June from Rose and Maiden, the boy, and they both tie for 10 because their reason for being relatable is the same. I just hated their source material, so that's why they're on here. But they both have agoraphobia, like a fear of like going outside, leaving the house, being in uncontrollable social situations, and I feel like a lot of anime fans or a lot of people into nerd culture in general just have a fear of a lot of people, crowds they can't control, leaving their house even. I mean, like right now we kind of can't leave our houses, but I digress. But I feel like a lot of anime fans can relate to the fact that they have a strong fear of people and leaving their safety cocoon of the house. Just the way these shows presented it was annoying. Like the girl Yuko, sometimes she's like a genius, and at other times she's like a 10-year-old. It's so confusing. Next is Hoshino from Ping Pong the Animation, and Hoshino, I specifically really relate to him because we all have that one skill or that one talent we all think we're super good at, right? Well, imagine like suddenly someone's better than you just out of the blue, just immediately wipes you off the table like you were a noob, an amateur. I've felt that feeling a lot, and it's not a good feeling, and he goes into this depression where he gains like a bunch of weight, and I'm just like, I relate to that so hard because this one thing that I'm not going to get into really hurt me when I didn't get it or like didn't qualify for it, and I'm like, I thought I was really good at this. But I feel like we can all relate that we have this one skill or talent that we're super proud of, and if we just got blown out of the water, like just surprisingly, not like we knew it was coming, but out of nowhere, I think we would all like get really upset and sad over it. Next is Tachi from Umaru-chan. This is Umaru's brother. And let me tell you, he puts up, I feel like older siblings have this thing where they just have to put up with their younger siblings. And granted, I'm the younger sibling in my family, but I feel like he especially just puts up with an annoying, know-it-all little sister that on the outside is very smart, very well liked, and then at home she's just a brat. I feel like he's relatable for a bunch of older siblings who may live in the shadow of their younger siblings or may know a darker side to their younger siblings. Just a little food for thought. Next is Seven. Oh, I didn't even realize that Nana's name means seven. But they call her Hachi in the show, so that's what we're gonna call her, Hachi. So Hachi from Nana, at number 7. She... she is relatable in the way that, like, she really does not have a good love life, and maybe for the nerds and the gays, this isn't the most relatable thing, but I feel like a lot of just normal adults can relate to how hard it is to stay in a stable, happy relationship, because that's Hachi's big thing. She just wants to be in a loving, happy relationship, and that's all she wants, really, and like she cannot get that. Like her boyfriend cheats on her, her second boyfriend just can't provide for her, her third one, when she becomes her husband, is like a jerk and continuously cheats on her. It's such a problem, and it's really like sad, and maybe it's more sympathy we feel towards her more so than empathy, that relatability complex. But I feel like some people are really just going to see Hachi struggle and be like, yeah, I feel it, that guy over there, he's such a jerk, but I just love him, or just being in her situation of being, struggling to make ends meet and all that. 6 is Retsuko from Aggressive Retsuko, and even though I know most of y'all that watch my channel are in school, but we all know being at school or being at work and just being so under so much stress that we have to let it off in some way. Like for me, the way I let off stress from school is I either go to my school's screaming society or I take naps, very long naps. And for Retsuko, it's screaming death metal. For other people, it's going to be like creating art, it's going to be cooking, it's going to be maybe even eating. It's going to be some kind of pleasurable activity that we all just need to let off steam. And Retsuko is that personification of, I am stressed at my school life or at work and I need to let off some steam. And that's Retsuko's entire personality. And I feel like a lot of people can relate. There's someone at your school or someone at your job, like Tome, that's just really bothersome and really gross and really like overbearing, and you just need to let off some steam, and that's perfectly okay. Number 5 is Mirai from Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. This is very similar to Tachi from Umaru-chan, in the fact that Mirai is an older sister and she does have a younger brother. However, Mirai is that older sibling that's too cool to have a younger sibling. She like kind of, I won't say she can't stand her younger brother, but she definitely feels like she has better things to do than hang out and be with her younger brother. And she has that, I think she's like 12, and she has this I'm too cool to be with my parents kind of attitude. I feel like a lot of older siblings can relate that once you hit a certain age, you feel like you should be a mini adult. And Mirai really learns through Tokyo Magnitude 8.0 that that's not necessarily the case. But yeah, and I kind of want to rewatch Tokyo Magnitude 8.0, not gonna lie, because it was such a good show. Really like Tokyo Magnitude 8.0. But, yeah, Mirai just has that complex of, I'm like 12 or 13, and I should be a tiny adult. And again, I feel like a lot of older siblings, or just older children in general, can really relate to that. Number 4 is part of the reason why I made this list, is Kuroko Tomoko from Watamode. And she's Kuroki Tomoko from Watamode. And she is the stereotype of, like, weeaboos and people that don't know how to interact with other people. Kuroki is one of my favorite anime characters simply for the fact she is so extreme in her anxiety and her ways of trying to fit in. I know the manga went farther than the anime, and like a lot farther. Like I think it went through her entire high school career. But Kuroki is just like so like such an inflated version of what a weeaboo's anxiety is. And granted, she's not a weeaboo, she's actually Japanese, but it's played up to such a comical effect. I couldn't put her as number 1 because some of the things she do, no normal person, no matter how much anxiety you have, could relate to Tomoko. And I made an entire video on why, like, on the purpose of Watamode and Tomoko's character, and I have a cosplay of her. She's like my favorite cosplay to do, and it's just, I love Tomoko so much. I just wish she was a little bit less extreme. I wonder if she gets any better in the manga. I highly doubt it, but like, Tomoko is such a pure being, and it's so sad the way her character is. But yeah, she's relatable in the fact that she is us to an extreme point. It's great. I love it. Next is Hidaka from High Score Girl. I almost said High School Girl. And she is the entire reason I made this list, because I'm watching High Score Girl right now. Jeez, why can't I say that? And oh my gosh, she is in love with the main character, who is a jerk, and she doesn't even like video games, and she's just trying to learn how to play the arcade games and all this jazz, and I'm just like, oh, Hidaka, why are you doing this? It's meant to be played up as cute and sweet, but it just comes off cringy, because you know, if you've ever tried to do that, like if your crush had like some really weird or niche interest, or like something you just knew you would never be interested in, but you're like, oh well, I'll give it a shot, you know how cringy and weird it is to do that. And the way she goes about it, to me, in like a real life situation, if it wasn't anime, would not go very well for her, because humans are like not anime characters, and they like react in like really complex ways that anime characters never could. It's so cringe to see yourself in an anime character that you know deserves so much better. It's just, oh. Next is Sayaka from Madoka Magica, and she has a very similar relatability issue that Hidaka has, but Sayaka is actually friends with the guy she likes, and the guy she likes just sees her as a friend and chooses to date another one of the magical girls. I forget what her name was because she wasn't that important in the series. But Sayaka is relatable in that way. You know you have that one really close guy friend that you're just close with because y'all have been close since childhood, or y'all were just close in general in school, and you've like finally brought up the courage to ask him out, and then he suddenly goes and he's like, oh hey, I like this other person, and you just want them to be happy. So you swallow your feelings. And Sayaka, the way Sayaka's comes off, is just, it feels a lot more natural than some like Hidaka's or like Nana's, and also it's more relatable because it's more of a school setting, and again, a bunch of us are like teenagers right now, and I don't know, just Sayaka's felt more real and more like I could connect to it than Nana or Hidaka's, and it's just I feel really bad for Sayaka's because she tried oh so hard for the guy she liked. Finally is Shoko from A Silent Voice, and I put her as number 1 because we've all, I feel like, a lot of us have been bullied for different things in our life. Not Shoko got bullied simply because she was deaf, and that's bullying someone for their disability, which is not cool, by the way. Do not do that. But I feel like a lot of us have been bullied in elementary school, middle school, high school for stupid things, like maybe you're gay, or maybe you get bullied because you like this like really niche thing. Like I know kids used to get bullied, like actually seriously bullied for liking anime or things like that, or video games, and you know, we can all relate to that feeling of helplessness and being bullied and not having any friends. And Shoko is just so sweet and innocent, and we kind of get to see her side of things. Of she comes from, you know, kind of a poor like family. She's trying to learn sign language, and she's just trying to be herself, and other kids are just like ruining that for her. And I think we can all relate to her struggle of trying to fit in but being different in a way. And you know, again, the bullying aspect. So I didn't mean to get all depressing right there at the end, but what did you expect? I hope you guys liked this video. Tell me what are some anime characters you relate to in the comments and why you relate to them. These are just some of the ones I can see certain aspects of my life or certain aspects of other people's lives in these characters and how they might be relatable. Anyways, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more random fandom things. Ciao, chicos.